Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
You got that? I know the cans are your enemy.
Yeah, I gave the old DreZ tap a try and nothing exploded.
It does
on me,
the trick,
so,
man. It does it. It's the natural way, or not natural, perhaps, but it's embedded in my head. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. Now these beers have been in my fridge so long that I can't remember. I think the one I popped probably came from there. However, I think the one that you popped. Actually, I got to give my brother a shout out. He brought me that one, so I'm happy to share that with you. But I have House Clouds, which is a IPA from Perennial Artisan Ales, which I looked up. They're out of St. Louis, which kills me because I was just in St. Louis like back in October, and I really wish I got to make a pit stop there, but we didn't have a mode of transportation, so we pretty much just went to the breweries that were walking distance, and there was no shortage of those. House Clouds IPA coming in at 6.2%, so a nice little ABV for this bad boy.
Well, first of all,
Right where you want it.
I love the label on that can, but just thinking about the logistics behind having clouds in your house is an HVAC nightmare. Everything's mildewy. It smells like fog in the kitchen.
Yeah, you mentioned the label's really pretty, but the other thing that's cool is
it's not a straight cut either.
Yeah, it's the silver can with the slap-on label-esque, but the label has some like kind of little wiggling around it.
That's another one of those don't judge a book by its cover, but maybe you can. That's beautiful.
I'm looking forward to
Speaking
drinking
of
this.
the DDH Falcon Smash from Triple Crossing, it's an India Pale Ale, 7% ABV. Beautiful label. It's elegant.
That's a badass label.
This is a beer that, like, if you're out at a social event, you're not just holding a Busch Light in your hand. You've got a beer, and people. That's a conversation piece right there.
It very well might be, and I could be wrong, but I think the DDH stands for double dry hops. You could probably confirm that by tasting it, or maybe even spells it out somewhere else on the can. Perhaps I'm not sure.
And I should have known that because I've had Huck correct me on that one before. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's double dry hopped. We're gonna find out.
Well, that said, I do have a little description over here, and it starts by listing the hops that are in this the House Clouds. We got the Amarillo, Simcoe, and Idaho 7. Idaho 7. This is almost like Yellow 5, off the dies. Idaho 7, and it has the grist too, 2-row oats and wheat. This hazy-ish IPA series features various malt bills and hopping combinations. All utilize a soft mouthfeel, minimal bitterness, and a dryish finish. Is it East Coast? Is it West Coast? Nah, it's a mid-coast thing. That's a little.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess
I read it stupid, but that is how it was written.
St. Louis is kind of mid-coast. I'd give it that.
Did I say mid-coast?
You did.
I
was like, there's no mid, but I guess
Midwest. My bad. That was my fault. I messed that one up.
There's water right in St. Louis. It connects to the ocean.
There's a river in there somewhere.
We can call it a coast. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe they're right there on it, but yours looks beautiful. I mean, that's
if you're watching on the video, you can't see a damn thing through it. It's a nice, hazy, beautiful IPA, and very excited about them. I'm excited that we're hanging out today.
Yeah, we're hanging out because it's National Hanging Out Day.
Had nothing to do with the show.
Yeah, we keep looking at this stupid little calendar to just try and get some ideas. And I'm like, well, next Tuesday is National Hanging Out Day. And Nate was just like, well, I guess that means we'll just hang out and drink some IPAs, which is, if I'm just hanging out, that's pretty much what I'd be drinking.
So with that calendar we've got, we keep, we've really got to stop doing this. We forgot. And then it just keeps, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, when you've been doing this for as long as I have, it's hard to kind of come up with something different or a theme each week, and it's just a fun way to kind of do the Brewsday thing. So yes, we are just drinking IPAs, hanging out, of course. What do you like to do when you're just hanging out, Nate?
Honestly, my favorite thing in the world, and I feel like you kind of have a similar. If I'm not going out and doing something, I'm a big fan of like kind of just pouring a beer and playing card or board games all the time. Like I will sit there for hours. The other week, my mom was in town, and we just sat there drinking cider, and we played Uno till like 3 in the morning.
You could play Uno
Just
till the
straight
cows
Uno.
come home, man. Yeah, Uno's solid. So, when you said card games, you're talking about like, because there are like specific cards. You think, I mean, the actual deck of cards, I've always thought this, like, if you were ever, those stuck on a desert island things or whatever, like, a pack of cards is the best thing by far to have of like if you
So
were
versatile.
any game or anything, because like there's countless games you can play with just a regular deck of cards. That being said, there's a lot of good other card games. You mentioned Uno. My favorite, have you ever played Phase 10?
I love Phase 10, but
Phase
I can never
10 's
find anyone who wants to play with me. So
Oh,
we're
it's-
going to have to do that.
It's solid, man. Next game night, we'll have to bust out the Phase 10 for sure.
Well, I thought my wife was going to love it because she's a math teacher. I'm like, there's so much like math and like and patterns and strategy. And she played Phase 10 with me exactly once and was like, yep, we're never doing this again.
It's one of those ones where, because you got the 10 phases, and it seems like it's going to be a long game, and it can be, but it really does go by quick, and it's a good one for sure.
It's very passive. Yeah. What's your favorite like actual deck of card game?
Like from a normal deck,
Yeah.
it really just depends on who you're with, and because when it comes to cards, I mean, 1 player, 2 player, 10 player, like it really just depends. But one of my favorites that we play at like family reunions, because there's a little gambling involved, is 31. You ever played 31? So that one's fun. I mean, of course, there's always those games that I always need refreshers on, like hearts, spades. I know I've played them both, but I was just like, okay, is this the one where you like the books, or where you're trying to do this or that, or I don't know. I always get them mixed up and confused. But
I was always a big fan of Texas Hold'em, but the secret to that is I have to be drunk as hell, because otherwise I'm just gonna sit there and overanalyze thing and get all of my money taken. But if I'm drunk as hell, I somehow leave like at the end of the night wealthier.
I bet honestly, I've never drunkenly played poker, but you're right. I probably would be much better because I suck at poker. But maybe that's what it is. I think I overthink it.
I definitely overthink it, because then I sit there and I start focusing on everyone else's cards, and then the drunker you get, like all you can really focus on is.
I also just have
Well, I'm rolling with it.
I have no poker face though either. Like I'm not. I can't bluff.
See, that would shock me to know that about you.
Really?
I feel like you'd be good at it.
I don't know, man. I'm an open book. I can't tell a lie.
You are, but you're one of the most honest human beings I know. That I feel like I would just take everything you say at face value. I don't know. Maybe that's just because tend to be a trusting person.
Yeah,
But
see,
I think you could get away with it.
I think we're both too nice to play poker. I swear. But yeah, I mean, oh man, now I just want to bust out some cards, drink some beers, and play some poker, man.
That's it's weird that we don't have cards in the studio. Like, if we passed,
I got
the
cards
age-
in my office.
I've got cards in my office as well, but it's weird that we don't have any in here, because like some of those times when you're having to sit here for a long period of time on the weekends, for instance, board hopping,
Baseball or
baseball
whatever,
or
yeah.
football, a deck of cards would go a long way. Everyone just spends their time on
Yeah,
the internet now.
Yeah, you just got the internet. You got your phone. I mean, who needs a deck of cards? But it is a great resource to have. There's no diggity doubt about it. So, yeah, I don't know. So that's the beer that you just popped is Triple Crossing. Have you heard of them before? Are you familiar with Triple Crossing?
I had, only because I have a buddy who works in HVAC and refrigeration and did some work for them.
Oh, really?
This is the first beer I've actually had from them that I had in optimal conditions, because he brought me some, and he's not a beer drinker at all. I was kind of telling you off air, he's not a beer drinker at all. So he had like left it in the back of his work truck, I want to say like all week, ready to drive it down to come see me here in Radford. And
I would ask what time of year it is, but it doesn't matter. That's not good.
Oh, it was summer. I mean, he was doing HVAC work. It was summer. Their AC had had an issue.
Boy.
And
That's probably worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other thing was if it was winter and it got below zero and they bursted. But
I was just saying, yeah. I mean, that's the only way it could have possibly been worse. But that's not on Triple Crossing at all. That's on my buddy who
yeah, that's hard to.
drinks Busch Light by choice.
Oh yeah. if it's one of those guys.
Well, that was the other thing. He was like, it tastes fine. I was like, no, everything's wrong.
Did they pay him in beer? Like, I mean, if he's not a beer guy, I'm surprised he even walked away with
No,
that.
I mean, he got paid, but they always like, he's done it at a couple of breweries. Like, they will throw him, like, here, try this. This is our new one. Somehow we got our hands on Hardywood gingerbread stout, like, early because they were just getting ready to, like, roll it out. And he had gone to do some work on, I think, the refrigeration lines. And they did give him, like, here's a growler of gingerbread stout. Take it home. And he called me that day. He's like, dude, I got some gingerbread stout. Let's get together. And I was like, dude, put it in your fridge.
That's a good get. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, man. I guess it's just maybe it has got to the point where I am officially a beer snob because I'm a big proponent of keeping beer at the proper temperature. And it's kind of funny, though, because, if you buy it and it's just on the shelf or whatever, then you don't need to immediately keep it cold. But in theory, isn't all beer when it's brewed or like at the end of the process, it's cold, right?
Yep.
So I don't know how that works.
I can confidently tell you, I mean,
I think it's the back and
in
forth.
In the past, I would have
forth.
done it, but now as like a regular beer consumer, I never, ever, when I see it out, like sometimes they'll get their seasonal cap out and then it's all just sitting out there in the middle of the store. I will not buy that because it just, for whatever reason, sits wrong with me. And I don't know what it is. Like, I'm a big fan of the refrigerated, the beer cooler, the beer cave.
Yeah.
And it just seems like the best way to buy it.
We do feel better getting it that way. We digress.
I mean, there's probably no science behind it. It's just the way my brain operates.
I guarantee you there's science behind it. I mean, we can't just everybody have made it up, right? That being said, I guarantee you if we did maybe we could do this in the future, a blind taste test of like a beer that we've kept cold and a beer that we've taken out of the fridge, put it back in the next day, and like did that a couple times. All right.
We are, after all, scientists.
Yes. We'll need a control, and we'll need a. I can't remember all the. A control would be the normal beer, and then the experiment would be, I don't know.
We need a smarter mind to control it. We'll be the lab rats.
We need more beer. All right, we're hanging around here on Brewsday Tuesday, drinking some IPAs. I popped the House Clouds from Perennial Artisan Ales, and it's damn good. It's funny because it does say hazy-ish. It's not very hazy. It's pretty crystal clear, in fact, if you ask me, but delicious nonetheless. It's really just hitting the spot, man. I feel like I could use a beer today. It's just one of those days that I was really glad that it's Tuesday. So this is hitting the spot.
I feel that way every Tuesday.
It's fantastic. It's good. And having been in my fridge for I don't even know how long, it probably could be even better when it was fresher. I wonder if there's a kind of board on date. Oh, yeah, right there. It says Best Buy. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
It says to drink it. It's Best Buy April 7th, which I know we missed that, but this also says April 7th, 2021.
Oh.
So we missed it by a year.
Oh.
And it's still pretty solid.
All right.
So I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Well, that's why it says Best Buy and not expires at.
Needed to drink by.
Always.
Wow. So, yeah, I bet this beer is probably, if you get it, a little bit fresher, it's probably a 5.
That's another science experiment right there.
Mm.
This triple crossing. It's as we pointed out, the DDH is double dry hopped Falcon Smash India Pale Ale, and I gotta be honest with you, it's not as hop heavy on the front as I expected. It all comes at you at the aftertaste, but this is one I would describe as more hazy than
hazy.
The one you're rolling with. You can't see through it. Did you rate yours? I may have just completely cut you
I
off.
said 4.5.
Okay, that's what I thought.
On the Untapped scale, which is how we like to keep track of our beers, DreZ Drinks is my handle. Big Nate Danger over there about to give his score for the triple crossing.
7% ABV and lovely can. The can, honestly, in this case, is going to bump it up a quarter of a point. But all around, pretty solid triple crossing product. Granted, my only other experience went down in flames. So I also like the nod to Captain Falcon and Nintendo's history there. So I'm going to go ahead and it's delicious. It's smooth. It's easy drinking, particularly on a warmer day. I think this is perfect. 4.75. Again, 0.25 of that does go to the label, but Falcon Smash, you can't go wrong.
There you go, man. Awesome beer, awesome brewery, and awesome little momentum. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on the Falcon Smash, but I don't know how I didn't pick that up, but that makes it even cooler. So that's great. We'll take a quick break. We'll play a tune. We'll come back. We'll drink more beer. It's Brewsday Tuesday on 105.3 The Bear.